President Trump was hard at work on the golf course this weekend. We are now on week 3 of the war Trump claimed we won an hour after he started it. Operation Abstino Distracto has now cost American taxpayers more than $16 billion, and more importantly, the lives of 13 U.S. service members. Trump is desperate to convince anybody who'll listen that this had to be done, we had to attack, and that leaders who encourage violent acts against peaceful protesters are evil and must be stopped.
How important would it be to get out that besiege force, the thugs that walk the streets and the moral?
Great if we could do
are we aiming for them?
No, these are bad people. They go out shooting protesters. You're a protester, they shoot you right through the head. This is an evil group of people.
Oh, now he's against shooting protesters. That's good. He's evolving. It's always his self-awareness that impresses me the most about Donald Trump. He's been talking very tough for a guy who seems to almost be in a coma right now. Over the weekend, he wrote, "Watch what happens to these deranged scumbags today. They've been killing innocent people all over the world for 47 years, and now I, as the 47th president, am killing them. What a great honor it is to do so. Thank you for your attention to this matter." In 3 months, he went from "Where's my Nobel Prize for Peace?" to "What a great honor it is to kill scumbags."
13 Americans are dead, $16 billion is gone, and the man responsible spent the weekend on a golf course at a club that charges him nothing because he owns it. And 3 months ago, he was asking for a Nobel Prize. Not joking. He literally asked for one. The same man who is now describing killing people as a great honor was standing in front of cameras demanding a peace prize. And nobody in his party said a single word about either one.
He is very low energy lately. He talks like he's a little drunk. He's slurring. He's sleepy. He's double-fisting Diet Cokes, all of which feels more glaring when his friends at Fox News nervously take his temperature on when this war of his might be over.
If Iran, as you say, totally obliterated, got the missiles, got the first 2 rounds of leadership, Air Force gone, Navy gone, can we wrap this war up this week?
Yeah, sure. I don't think so, but it'll be soon. Won't be long.
Grandpa's blood sugar is low. Will somebody get him a biscuit, please? I don't know if it's the stress from all his bad decisions or the fact that he's rage tweeting all night long and not getting any sleep, but he is spent.
Watch any interview he's done in the last 2 weeks and tell me what you see. He can't finish sentences. He loses his train of thought mid-word. He answered a question about when the war ends by saying he feels it in his bones. This man has the nuclear code. He controls the largest military on the planet. And the people closest to him are on television nervously trying to get him to answer basic questions about his own war, and not one of them will say what they are all clearly thinking.
When are you going to know when it's over?
When I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it in my bones.
That's a problem. He uses his bones to feel things instead of his brain. He's a bonehead through and through. And the answer is he doesn't know when this war is going to be done. The only war Trump had an exit plan for was Vietnam. He's all over the place. During a press conference,
he doesn't know when the war ends. He said it himself. He'll know when he feels it, which means there's no plan. There is never a plan, actually. He started a war in the Middle East with 13 Americans now dead and $16 billion price tag, and the exit strategy is just vibes. Actually, vibes. And the people voted for him because they thought he would bring stability, are now watching him fall into podcasts and say he feels it in his bones.
Napoleon Bonaparte took a break from bragging about his military exploits to commit a HIPAA violation.
We had one man who was very ill. It looked like he wasn't going to make it. I don't know. I won't mention his name. Should I? Do other people know his name? Do you want to mention it? He'll be proud. Go ahead. Tell him the story.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. President. Congressman Neil Dunn of Florida had some real health challenges, and it was very serious, and had a pretty grim diagnosis. And I mentioned it to the president, and I said, Congressman Dunn is a real champion and a patriot because he's still coming to work. And if others got this diagnosis, they would be apt to go home and retire. And
What was the diagnosis?
It was, I think it was a terminal diagnosis.
He would be dead by June.
Okay, that wasn't public, but yeah, okay. That's it was grim. That's what I was going to say.
Well, the guy's kids had to find out somehow. It might as well have been from the president, you know. Hard to believe this is the same guy who was indicted for storing classified documents in the shower at his country club.
He revealed a congressman's terminal cancer diagnosis at a press conference in front of cameras to the entire country before the man's own family had been told, and then got on a plane and called a reporter fake news for asking about dead, sick soldiers. These are not gaffes anymore. This is a pattern of a man has never once in his life had to consider how his words affect other people, because nobody around him ever made him feel like that.
Can you guys comment on the 6 dead soldiers? ABC News.
One of the worst, most fake, most corrupt.
Can you give a comment on the dead
on
soldiers?
ABC News? I think it's maybe the most corrupt news organizations on the planet. I think they're terrible. Okay, I don't want any more from ABC.
He's still mad at us for canceling Charlie's Angels back in 1981. Trump is very upset about network news coverage of his war, and so he's called in his attack schnauzer, Mr. We Can Do This the Easy Way or the Hard Way, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, who this weekend sounded the alarm against freedom of the press. He wrote, broadcasters that are running hoaxes and news distortions, also known as the fake news, have a chance now to correct course before their license renewals come up. The law is clear. Broadcasters must operate in the public interest, and they will lose their licenses if they do not. It is very important to bring trust back into the media, which has earned itself the label of fake news. Which, no, the media didn't earn themselves the label of fake news. The first fatso made that up, and you ran with it. And then Daddy Dum Dum followed with, and this is really, I like this. This is really like a ventriloquist complimenting his dummy on a joke. He wrote, I am so thrilled to see Brendan Carr, chairman of the FCC, looking at the licenses of some of these corrupt and highly unpatriotic news organizations. They get billions of dollars of free American airwaves and use it to perpetuate lies, both in news and almost all of their shows, including the late night morons who get gigantic salaries for horrible ratings and never get, as I used to say in The Apprentice, fired. Thank you for your attention to this matter. You know what? You're welcome. I don't know if you were thanking me, but you are welcome. On behalf of all my fellow late-night morons, you are welcome. From now on, these so-called news organizations and talk show hosts should take our cues from real journalists like the fair, balanced, and highly educated YouTuber/stunt boxer Jake Paul.
Would you ever run for office?
I think so. That's what I'm asking for some advice. Like, how did you make that transition?
You know, the timing was good, but if I waited longer, it wouldn't have been good because of the clock, you know, the famous clock.
Yeah.
Father Time.
Yeah.
My wife actually said, do it or don't talk about it. And she said, all right, so do it or don't do it, but don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But she'd say, do it or don't do it. It's okay, but don't talk about it.
I'm pretty sure don't talk about it is always Melania's advice in any situation. Don't talk about it. Donald, don't ever be talking.
A reporter asked about 6 Americans who died in his war, and his response was to attack the news channel that asked questions. Not a word about the soldiers, not a moment of acknowledgement, just an attack on ABC. That tells you everything you need to know about what this war actually means to him. The government is now threatening to pull broadcast licenses from news channels that criticize president. Think about what that actually means. Not in another country, here. In America, in 2026, the FCC is being used as a weapon against journalists who ask uncomfortable questions. And Trump celebrated it publicly, called it great. The same man who put his hand on a Bible and swore to protect the Constitution is publicly cheering the destruction of the free press. And half the country is completely fine with it. Jake Paul wants to run office. Jake Paul wants to run for office. And before you laugh, remember that 4 years ago, if you told someone that a reality TV host with zero political experience would start a war in the Middle East, reveal a dying congressman diagnosed with cancer at a press conference, threaten to pull TV licenses, and spend his weekends golfing at his own club to run away from paying taxes, they would have laughed too, right? We stopped taking this seriously at exactly the wrong moment. And now we're here.